talk about your dream team. Okay, your dream team. Ooh. So this is you, right? Yay! I'm going to get me a house. Woo! Can y'all see that? Oh yeah, it looks much better now. I don't know what is going on with these markers. They choose what day they want to shine. Okay, you are in the middle. Now, the first person that you are actually going to want to talk to is a financial specialist. Okay, financial specialist, financial advisor, financial counselor, homeownership counselor, whatever you want to call them. Okay, financial planner, your money person. Okay, who do you talk to about what's going on with your financial goals, about your money? If you don't have one, you should. Your financial specialist is going to be very super important to your process. And like I said, this could be also a homeownership counselor. They exist, right? So this person is going to support you throughout your actual process of purchasing this property, before, during, and after. Your finances are going to look totally different. Before you get the house, very restricted. While you're shopping for the house, everything is at a standstill. You can't do anything. Okay, it's like literal, like nothing. All right, for the next 60 days, don't touch your money or anything, right? And they're going to make sure that you keep on the straight and narrow, because some people are tempted during those 60 days. 60 days because you have 60 days from the time that you are actually approved to go and find, or pre-qualified to go and find the house that you want to actually get approved for. So pre-qualification comes first. You have 60 days. If you don't get pre-approved, you got to do it all over again. Super annoying, okay? So make sure you get something in the 60 days, okay? But your financial specialist is really going to be that support system for you, okay? Then if your financial specialist doesn't actually know about credit, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If they really aren't clear on it and you need some kind of credit support, be it credit repair or credit improvement, most of the time y'all think y'all need credit repair when really you need credit improvement or credit building skills, right? So your credit specialist is going to come next. And you want to make sure that your credit specialist or credit counselor or credit coach is not a credit repair agency. Did y'all catch that? Not a credit repair agency, right? Not someone who only focuses on repairing credit, because 90% of the time, those people are not focused on improving credit or doing things the right way, the straight and narrow way. Okay. And if you guys have any questions on things that you suspect may be illegal for a credit person to do, a credit repair person to do, you can ask it in the chat as well today. Okay, I'll answer it today. But if they're a credit counselor or a credit coach, then they know way more about credit improvement and building your credit and teaching you how to really manage your credit and manage your debt, as opposed to just being like, yeah, we can dispute that. Yeah, we're going to go blah, 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 and we're blah, blah, blah. And half the time that stuff doesn't even work post-pandemic. Okay. Post-pandemic, credit repair agencies really do not work, and it's not their fault. It's not that they're not working. It's that a lot of the privacy laws and the reporting laws have shifted, and now you have to do that yourself. Okay, so they're not going to accept third-party letters. They don't want to see anything typed. They want a handwritten from the consumer letter in your own words. So even if you do get one of those template letters, which I think is a great idea, definitely do. Even if you get one of those template letters from a credit repair agency, you want to rewrite it, handwrite it, mail it in, and you want to use your own words. That is major key. Use your own voice. Because if you don't use your own voice, they're going to be like, man, this is a credit repair agency too, and they tear it up and throw it out. I'm telling you, they're throwing stuff out now. They're not even looking at it. So the credit person is super important if you have any If you're like below 650, below 680, if you're at 680 and above, I'd say you're pretty okay. You could do some credit building, but you can't do that 3 months before you actually go for the loan. So you need to be doing that way ahead of time. So if you're the person who's like, all right, it's 12 months or it's 2 years out for me to actually think about going to get approved or get this property, you have the perfect time to start building your credit now, because the way that you build credit is actually by using credit. So you're going to have to open a whole bunch of accounts. And once you open the account, what did we talk about the other day? That drags down your score, right? The age of your score is important, right? So that's going to drag your score down. You don't want that to happen right before you're going for the loan. And you also don't want the lender to see that you just opened a whole bunch of accounts. They're going to be like, bruh, you got a lot going on here. You don't even look like you can handle my loan. Okay? So that's the credit specialist. The next person that you're going to need is a tax specialist. Now, I just told y'all how important having your taxes together is, right? So by tax specialist, I don't just mean a tax preparer. Most tax preparers just sit at the computer and they take your information and they just input stuff. They're not asking you questions. They're not giving you strategy. Hey, I think that you should do this next year if you're going for a house. Now, mind you, you should see this tax person 12 months ahead, right? Because you're going to need to do 2 years of your tax returns, right? So at the very least, you want the one before to be like pristine, and the one, you know, the second year that's furthest away. Okay, right? That year before you go to get pre-approved or pre-qualified, anything with a lender, you want a tax expert to look at your tax return. Because if there is anything wrong, they are going to catch it for you, amend it for you, and then send it in. You'll send it into the IRS, and then everything will be crystal clear and we'll be okay, and no one's going to go to jail for tax evasion or any crazy things. Okay? But also, because if you go to that tax specialist a year ahead, they're going to give you some amazing strategies for after you get the house. Like not while you're about to go get the house, you do all the deductions and the crazy credits and stuff. Don't do that the year before, because we already talked about how that decreases your income, right? You want all your income reporting. But that year afterwards, after you get that house, ooh, go talk to this person. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to be like, I want to deduct this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to open this business for that so that I can deduct this. You're going to have a fun time. Because after you get that first mortgage, your credit profile is now gold. Okay? Let me tell you guys about the trifecta really quick. Talking about the credit person, right? So the trifecta, this is what I call the trifecta, okay? On your credit report. High limit, premium credit cards. And by premium, I mean like, or high tier credit cards, I mean like something with Chase. I mean like something with Bank of America, something with Capital One, the big banks. You want the big banks to give you money, right? And have nice high limits with them. Second thing you want to do, an auto loan. Remember, I told you guys to remind me about the auto loan and how the auto loan is a mini what? Mini mortgage, right? Auto loan. And then, this would be before you get the mortgage. So the other one could be either a personal loan or a student loan. Both do just fine. Why? Because this is a variation of debt. This signals to the lender if you don't have delinquencies, late payments, all those crazy things going on. This signals to the lender that you will be able to handle your debt and you will be able to handle their mortgage. Now, after you get the mortgage, personal/student loan is then replaced for the trifecta as a mortgage. So now when you go to get when you go to get another mortgage, when you go to get another auto loan, or you want higher credit limits and all the cool things, and they look at your report, they're like, dang, you got it going on, right? This is like, yes. All right. So that's the trifecta: high limit, premium credit cards, auto loan, and a mortgage. All right. Now, if we have time, I'll break down the auto loan and the mortgage. So your tax specialist is going to help you out with all the cool things and making sure that your taxes are in order and pristine. The next person that you are going to need is your real estate attorney. Your real estate agent. Okay. Real estate agent. All right. Your real estate agent is so important. Okay. Now, real estate agent. Now, you may get this person before you get the lender or loan officer, or you may get them beforehand. So if you go to the real estate agent first, the only reason you would go to the real estate agent before getting pre-qualified is if you have already, called around, or you're going with like a Keller Williams. The realtors that are usually with them have their own lender. Like, they have their own team. So you can go with their lender and you don't have to go and find a lender. Now, I will say, because we talked about this yesterday, you should shop around for your lender. You should shop around for your real estate agent, tax specialist, everyone here, shop around for them, okay? But that lender, 1,000%, at least 3. Look at least 3. So one of them can be from your real estate agent. You're going to go, you're going to be like, hey, no, I'm not pre-qualified, but I'm ready to get pre-qualified. All right. So if you guys have a lender for me, I'm ready to go with that lender. Now, if you are doing grants and programs, sometimes the lender will come with that grant or program, right? So homeownership counselor. So sometimes your counselor will tell you, or, you took this amazing boot camp and now you know, right? So they should have gotten you prepared with whatever. Or you got a Homebuyer handbook and you saw some loans or some grants and programs in there that's going to work for you. The lender may come with that program. So if that's the case, then, that's 2. And then the third way is you just looking around and seeing who all is in the air, who all is there in your market. Okay. But that real estate agent is going to be major key. You need to make sure that this real estate agent understands your why. Okay? Because if not, they're going to be super freaking frustrating. Let me tell you guys a story. So last year, when I was going for my, the property, the rental income property in the US, I went with someone that I knew. They said, hey, you can go with this person. She just helped me buy my house a couple of years ago. She's awesome. I said, okay, cool. Black woman too. I was like, yes, Black power. Woohoo. Black girl magic. And so, I talked to her before I even got to Maryland. It was like a couple of months. Like, we were just getting to know each other. And every time I told this lady, yeah, I'm looking for a mixed use property or a multi-unit property, she kept sending me single family homes. And I was just like, am I speaking French? Am I speaking Spanish? Am I speaking Portuguese? I just don't understand why this lady won't listen to me. That is not what I want. I don't want a single family. I am an investor, and I thought you were too, because that was why you were recommended to me. And you keep trying to put me in a single family home. Why are you not listening? Super frustrating. And it happened. It went on and on for months, y'all. For months before I even got to Maryland. So when I got to Maryland, I got another referral for a realtor. Black man. Yes. Black power. Okay. And he listened. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's not me. I'm not speaking different languages that you don't understand. Like, I don't know what's happening. Right? So he started, and he still does send me multi-unit, multi-family, mixed buildings as well, mixed use properties as well. All right, because I do plan on getting something in Maryland still. So You want a real estate agent who is going to listen to your why, understand your why, and not try to push you to other things. Now, if they're pushing you to other things because of your finances, that is a whole separate question. My finances were not a problem. She just wouldn't listen. Okay? So if they're pushing you in opposite directions because of your pre-qualification rate or something like that, okay. But you ask probing questions. Why is it that you keep trying to do this? In my case, I did ask her that, and she like kind of tiptoed around it. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, ha ha ha. And I was like, ain't no ha ha ha. That ain't what I want. Like, this is not funny. So you want to make sure that your real estate agent is paying attention to that. They are also going to be the person who is going to be with you the entire time, especially if you don't have a financial specialist. They're going to be the other support system that you have throughout the process. So case in point, when I went to go buy my condo the first time, right, my first property, when I went to go buy that, I had a really good realtor. So he listened to what I wanted. I said I wanted a condo. He did, however, say, I think that you should look at single family homes because you may change your mind. We did. And I obviously didn't. I got the condo, right? I wish he would have explained more of the numbers to me because he did understand my why and that my condo was a starter home. It wasn't meant to be my forever home. But I did want to keep the property. And so if he had a little bit more knowledge about rental income, that would have been like chef's kiss for me. But he didn't. So I ended up getting the condo, but I liked that he would listen to what I needed. And then he was like, okay, and then also throughout the process, and I told you guys I didn't have an easy process, or maybe did I not? I don't remember. Let me tell you now. So I didn't have much of a easy process with the condo. The owner was actually in the hospital on his deathbed. Okay. And his estate was taking care of everything. So everything was very slow. It took me 2 months to close. And in that 2 months, I was going absolutely insane because I had a financial disorder called workaholism and perfectionism. Okay. And it was driving me nuts. I was like, I came to you guys with the perfect home buyer profile. I came to you guys with all the things that you needed. Every time you asked me for something, I gave it to you. I don't understand what the holdup is. I was going absolutely insane. I was ready to pull out all my hair. I was ready to quit. And my realtor was there to be like, let me put /realtor. My realtor was there, okay, to be like, girl, because remember, I said I didn't have anyone else in this process with me. It was just me and my realtor. Okay. So the realtor's like, girl, I need you to calm down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Let me make some phone calls. Let me see what's going on. Let me see if I can push the process a little faster, what I can do for you. He even ended up going to the inspections without me because I was working so hard. I was working overtime. I was doing 16-hour days every single day because I was trying to make sure that I had enough money for the condo. And man, he was just awesome. So you want a real estate agent or a realtor that's going to answer your phone call. Now, maybe they won't answer your phone call in the middle of the night because don't be crazy. But my realtor did. Okay. I'm just saying. My realtor answered my phone calls in the middle of the night. I was like, oh my God, I'm done. Because I would get home late. So anytime that I could answer or send him documents was at night. I was doing 16 hours, right? So he would be available. He would answer the phone, married with kids too. Nice guy. All right. And I was buying in a different state. So I was in New York. He was in New Jersey. And the property that I was buying, the condo, was in New Jersey. So I was like, bro, by the time I get over there, I don't have no time for this. So he did everything for me. He walked me through everything over the phone. If I was missing documents, he was on top of it. And he had other clients. Let's not get it twisted. He was a very busy realtor because sometimes I would call him and he would be like, girl, not right now. Or he wouldn't answer me on a phone call. He'd text me back and say, I'll call you back. And I wouldn't hear from him for a day. And I'd be like, it's okay because he got other clients. I am not his only client, right? But you want a realtor or a real estate agent that is going to take care of you, okay, that doesn't just see you as a dollar sign, and they really want to see you succeed and get to that goalpost. They're going to ask you questions like, why are you getting a home? What do you want to do with this property? Do you plan on living in this property for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Is this your forever home? Right? Do you think that you may be able to pre-qualify for a new construction if you want to do a, forever home, because you can build it and customize it exactly how you want from the ground up? Or, you're thinking about having a starter home. Okay, eventually you want to do rental income. Cool. So why don't we go look at a mixed use property? Why don't we go look at a multi-unit? Because it seems like your financial profile is just perfect for that. Let's go do that. They're not only going to push you towards one type of thing, which is single family homes. Don't let people try to convince you that first of all, in this economy and the way that the mortgage system and the economy is set up, okay, you don't want a single family home. You want a rental income property, okay? But yeah, your real estate / realtor is going to take care of you, all right? The next person that you are going to see and need on your money team is the lender, right? How are you going to get the money? Lender / loan officer. All right. Jenny said that's awesome. Yeah, I had a really good realtor the first time, and for Maryland, I'm definitely going back. So Jenny, I know you're in Maryland. I have someone for you. He's absolutely freaking amazing. Yeah, I would use him again and again and again and again. All right. So the next person on your list is going to be a lender or loan officer on your money team. Okay. And this is the person who's going to get you the cash to stash. Your lender should be, you're welcome, Jenny. Your lender should be, like I said, you should shop around at least 3. I would say do 3 in each sector. Remember we talked about mortgage brokers. So there's mortgage brokers. So they're like independent, right? And then there's banks, like major banks like Chase, Bank of America. I really want to tell y'all how I feel about these banks racially, but I can't, because then somebody might sue me for defamation. So ask me in my DMs, okay? Banks, though, Chase, Bank of America, the big banks, okay? And then the third place you're going to look for your lender or loan officer is going to be a credit union. And remember, I said credit unions tend to give you lower rates than banks or mortgage brokers, okay? So for me, what I would do if I was going to, I redo my U.S. process, I would look at 3 brokers. I would look at 3 different major banks, and then I would take a look at 3 different credit unions. Now, I would start with the credit union that I already have an account with. I would start with the bank that I already have an account with, because if you have a relationship with them, they are more likely to actually take you on for that additional debt or account, right? And then for a mortgage broker, you really want to get a referral, because a lot of these mortgage brokers out here don't actually be mortgage brokers, and just, okay. So then Jenny said, yeah, I hear you. That will be a private chat. Yeah. DM me ask me about a couple of these banks. Okay. But yeah, for your lender or loan officer, I would shop around. Now, what are you shopping around for? You're shopping around for the rate. Okay. Because sometimes they have different interest rates available. You're shopping around for if they have any additional grants. or programs to stack, because they can stack, right? Remember, community love. They can stack for you too. Okay. And you're also going to look for someone who matches your personality. Okay. My lender was, I had an all-star Black team. I'm just gonna come out and say that. Okay. My realtor was a Black man. My lender was a Black woman. My real estate attorney was a Black woman. Okay. Pow, pow, pow. All right. So dang, I wish I had the picture for you guys. I'll find the picture for tomorrow. But yeah, so you want your lender to, you be able to talk to your lender as freely as you guys talk to me here like this. Each and every one of these people should be able to talk to you in a very calming way. They should be able to relay information to you and for you to actually understand what they're saying. Okay. If they're trying to talk to you all the way up here and they don't want to come down here to talk to you, they ain't the ones for you. You need to understand every single part of this process, because one misstep could mean $30,000 extra that you probably ain't have to pay. I'm just saying. Okay. So shop around for your lender or loan officer and make sure that they match your personality. Make sure that they give you the best rate possible. Make sure that they are giving you options. If your lender is doing what I told you that real estate agent was doing and only pushing you towards one type of mortgage, let's say they're trying to push you towards a conventional loan. Okay. Let's say they're trying to push you towards, that's all they want you to do. That's all they want you to do. Right. And you're like, no, but I need you to tell me whether or not I actually qualify for an FHA, because I'm trying to get a rental income property and it's either going to be a mixed use or it's going to be a multi-unit. And I want to use a rent roll on top of that. So do I qualify? I want y'all to roll up in that lender's office like that, like boss, like I know what I'm doing here. Okay. This might be your profession, but I know what I want. Now, it is your job to tell me whether I qualify for the thing that I want. And if I don't qualify for it, fine. Okay, understood. Break down why so that I can leave and go fix whatever it is and come back so that I can get what I want. But don't try to push me into a loan product just because it's an easy close for you and you want to move on to the next loan. Take your time with me. Answer my questions. Okay, your lender should be answering your questions along this process as well. I used to call my lender in the middle of the night too. I used to call everybody in the middle of the night. I was probably like a very annoying client, okay? Because I was just like freaking out. I'm like, I'm a first-time home buyer. Y'all know we skittish. I don't know what's going on here. Right? At the very least, you guys won't be as skittish as me because I was here to actually provide you with all of the information that I didn't have. Okay, so you won't be as nervous and paranoid as I was, but your lender should ideally still be able to pick up the phone, call you back, let you know that they'll call you back in a certain amount of time or whatever it is, right? But they should be able to talk to you and answer your questions, period. All right? Yes, Sugita. All Black, everything. All right. So the next person that is crucial to your process, and this is actually not an actual person, but this is going to be a company, okay? And sorry. The next one is a person, sorry. So the next person that you're going to need is a real estate attorney. Real estate attorney. Okay. Now, this is the person who's going to make sure you ain't getting defrauded. So you want to make sure that person is tight, okay? Make sure that person can also answer you. Attorneys are busy people. I don't give a crap. You're going to answer me or have someone else on your team answer me. I don't care who answers me, but somebody better answer me. When I got a question or you're pushing papers to me and I don't understand something, you or your team should be available to me to answer my question. I don't understand what a certificate of occupancy is, which you will need to know. Okay? I don't know what a closing disclosure is. I don't know what this loan estimate says. You guys will know all those words very soon, okay? But when we talk about, we'll talk about those on closing day, right? But your real estate attorney should be able to break that down to you, and they shouldn't be so busy that they don't call you back for days on hand, because a lot of things in real estate are going to be time sensitive. Okay, they're going to be very time sensitive, and the time frame is usually about 3 days for you to make a decision on something. So it's going to go quick. Once you get approved, because you already found the house, so once you get approved for that house and you're getting the money, everything goes like this. So that attorney needs to be like this. Okay, now some states do not require an attorney. Get an attorney anyway. Yes, they're going to cost money. Yes, they're going to take away from your down payment and closing costs. It will save you crazy amounts of headaches. So let me tell you a quick story about a couple of reasons why I loved my first real estate attorney that I had. Remember, I told you all Black everything, so Black woman. Okay, her and her team actually protected me, because this man's estate, when I went into that condo, or I was trying to go into that condo, he owed $30,000 to the condo association for back owed HOA fees. He owed, I think it was like $15,000 in back taxes that he owed on this property. He owed, I don't even remember the amount that was on the utilities, but it was psychotic, okay? And she also had to make sure that she cleared my title for me. So your real estate attorney, and then I'm also going to put in parentheses title company, because usually the attorney or the real estate agent comes with their own title company. So in parentheses, either the real estate attorney will provide one, or your agent will provide the title company, and they're the ones who actually hold your escrow, who hold your mortgage, insurance, and your taxes, your escrow account. We'll talk about escrow on closing day as well, get a little bit deeper into it. But they're the ones who hold your escrow. They're the ones who hold your down payment. They're the ones who hold your earnest money as well. And we'll talk about earnest money tomorrow, actually, when you go shopping, okay? So they're the ones who hold all the money. So you want to make sure that you get your change back if things go awry. So in the first transaction, like I said, the attorney made sure that everything was clear. I didn't have to pay any bills, nothing when I came into, because if you accidentally sign that document before you clear your responsibility that is tied to that other owner and that property, right? If you don't untether that and separate it, you will actually owe all of the money that they owed if the transaction is not conducted correctly. Did you hear me? Get a real estate attorney. I don't care if the state does not mandate it. All right? Get one. So that was the first interaction I had with a real estate attorney. The second one was when I was selling my condo. Okay. And let me tell you something, wanted to pull all my hair out on my selling too, because I actually had what's called a defaulted cash buyer. So a cash buyer came in and was like, oh, I got the money to throw around. This condo's great. I'm going to buy it. Guy went missing for a little while. He didn't put down all his down payment money. He was holding up the deal saying, wait. I got this going on. I got that going on. If I didn't have an attorney during that transaction, I wouldn't have been able to get my money back from the title company. All right. Or the money that was owed to me. Okay. Because I sued him. Okay. Sellers have rights to sue. Sued him for my money. Okay. So and the title company is who held the money, and they held it for a long time. I think they held it for like a year. I think I finally we cleared up everything in like March of this year, but I sold the condo last year, and he was actually, it was a complete year. From March to March, we had a problem with this cash buyer. Total trash individual. He was doing some scamming stuff, but that's neither here nor there. The real estate attorney is who saved me. right? Now, in some states, you won't have a choice. In New York, for instance, you ain't got a choice. You're going to get a real estate attorney or the transaction is not going to go down. But in Maryland, you can actually choose to have an attorney or not. So when I went to go do the Maryland transaction, remember, that's the one that I actually backed out of, okay? Neither of us had an attorney. The seller didn't have an attorney and I didn't have an attorney, okay? And I was like, I don't want this house anymore. You have too much electric issues. You have zoning issues that you didn't tell me about. You didn't get all of that cleared up. And then the lender had told me about that last minute thing where they wanted me to have all of the tenants already signed up for the building in 48 hours. I was like, that's impossible. I can't do that. I'm on my way to Africa. So I was like, you know what? Kill the deal, right? Now, in the contract, and this is every real estate contract, you have a certain amount of time to back out if you don't receive the funding, okay? So I wasn't a cash buyer, so I could, the seller couldn't sue me the way that I could sue the other guy, right? Because I was using funding. So the contract was contingent on me getting funding. If I didn't get funding, he was to return my earnest money to me. Okay? And we'll talk about earnest money tomorrow. But he didn't want to return it. It was $5,000. He didn't want to return it. So then we start going back and forth and a whole argument. It's starting to get wild. It's starting to get crazy. And then because I am protected by the blood of the Lord, okay, and all my ancestors, y'all know $5,000 ended up in my account. The title company accidentally, I don't know if it was accident or not, because the title company actually was attached to my realtor, right? All of a sudden, I had my $5,000 back. And then they started emailing me like, hey, can you send the money back so that we can, well, I ain't sending jack. That was my money owed to me and he was trying to keep my money. Okay? He knew that it was contingent on funding and he didn't want to give me back my money and y'all were holding it. So my ancestors and Jesus said, give me back my money, and then the money ended up in my account. You think I'm going to give it back to you? Absolutely not. So that we can argue about it? No. Deal's done. Deal's over. You didn't have an attorney. I didn't have an attorney. Go get an attorney and sue me. I haven't heard a peep out of him since. Okay? So your real estate attorney is important because I will never do that again. Okay? Because what would have happened if, and this was a really good lesson for me. Okay? What would have happened if that if the $5,000 didn't accidentally end up in my account, wired back to me, I would have had to go through a whole nother process just to get $5,000 back because I didn't have a real estate attorney and I was not protected. So I want you guys to be protected, even if the state does not mandate a real estate attorney. And I don't care how sweet the seller seems, because the seller was all sweet and nice when I was there. Okay? I don't care how nice they seem, get an attorney. Okay? All right. Now, the last piece of the puzzle that you are going to definitely need, okay, and this is going to be a company, not an actual person, is homeowners insurance. Now, you have to get your homeowners insurance before you close on the house. Don't worry. This is not a scam, okay? I thought it was. That's why I'm saying that. Not that you guys think it, but I thought it. When I was getting my first house, that condo, and it was like, oh yeah, you got to go get homeowners insurance. I was like, before I close? Houseway. Oh, I see y'all commenting. Jenny said, I don't want nobody dead. Period. Right? That's Sequita said, oh, yeah. Jenny said, ha. Yeah, exactly. My ancestors had me. Period. Right? But I thought that the homeowners insurance was like, I was like, what you mean? Like, I thought they were trying to scam me out of my money. Okay, I'm paranoid, right? I come from a poor mindset and an actually poor family. Like, what you mean you trying to take money from me? Okay? But essentially what you have to do is get what's called a binder. Okay? And the binder is basically like the precursor to getting the homeowners insurance. You are not actually required to keep or pay for the policy, or you could get a refund, I believe, from the policy if you don't actually end up closing. So if you don't close in a house, you're going to get your homeowner's insurance policy money back. Don't freak out. It's normal for you to give it before it closes. Just like when you go for a car, you got to get the insurance on the car before you drive off the lot. Same thing with a house. Okay? Same thing with a house. You got to get the homeowner's insurance before they let you walk out of that closing table. You got it? Good. Now, for your homeowner's insurance, you're going to do the same thing that you do with everyone else, which is shop around. Okay? So take a look at if you already have auto insurance, the great thing that I did was I bundled. Okay? So y'all know Flo on what's her daggone thing? Flo from, dang, I can't even remember the actual insurance company, but y'all know Flo. Help me out in the chat. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The lady who's always doing the insurance commercials. Her name is Flo. It's so bad that I remember her and not the actual insurance company. They did a terrible job. Okay. But Flo, right? Progressive. Thank you, guys. Progressive. I don't remember Progressive at all, but Flo, I remember Flo. Okay. So Flo, right? You can go to Progressive. You can go to State Farm. You can go to Geico. Whoever you have, you can go to Liberty Mutual. That's who I stayed with because I had Liberty Mutual. You can bundle, and then what it does is it makes everything cheaper. Okay, so it'll bring down your car insurance and it'll bring down your homeowner's insurance. Okay, so this is your money team. Yay! And then to the side of that, a nice little asterisk. Okay, an asterisk, depending on what you want to do. If you're going to get a house that needs to be renovated, like my condo needed to be renovated, it was terrible in there. Okay, so you may need a general contractor to talk to them and see how much it'll cost to actually to see how much it'll cost to actually fix the property. Now, you know how in those shows, those home repair shows, how they have the contractor come in and say, this would be this much. And that's exactly what you're going to do before you close on this house. Okay. Get a general contractor in there and let them tell you how much it is going to cost to fix all the things that you want fixed. Now, yes, this will also kind of come with your inspection report. So the inspector will tell you the bad things, but the general, like the things that you need to fix because they're structural. But the general contractor is going to tell you cosmetic things. How much is it going to fix the cosmetic things? And so if you're going into a house that's not fully put together or it's not put together to your T, now don't be anal about things, okay? You can fix things after you close. But if it's going to be like a major uphaul job, get a general contractor in there to tell you how much. The other person that you're going to want is a real estate mentor. If you are going to be doing this as an investment property and you have never done this before, or it's like your second time or something like that, and you want your hand held through the entire process, you want a real estate mentor, okay? Real estate investor mentor, okay? Make sure they actually do what they say that they specialize in, okay? If they say they do international real estate, make sure they actually have an international property, okay? If they say they do tax liens and deeds, I don't got it, but George has it, and that's the person that I told come into my communities to teach you guys, okay? If they do long-term rentals, you want somebody who does that. We'll be bringing people in to talk about that at the No Sitting Asset Summit. We're going to bring a specialist in for each rental income, right? So if they do short-term rentals, you need somebody who actually has short-term rentals, okay? And if you're actually going to own these properties, you don't want somebody who does arbitrage, which is really like them renting out someone else's. They rent on behalf of the tenant, like they come in as the tenant and then they rent it out on Airbnb. Not those people, because they've never actually owned property. So they don't know how to help you through this process at all. Okay. Somebody who actually owns a property. Okay. All right. So real estate investment mentor, or you want a general contractor, depending on the type of property that you're going to get. This is your money team. I'm going to erase this on the side. If you guys want to take a snapshot, I'm going to move out the way. We are now at 6:17, which means it's time to drop your questions. What all questions do you have? I told y'all today was light. Today was light. Oh, actually, there y'all go. Why don't you tell me the light was off? It was dark in here. Y'all can tell me. All right. So this is your money team. Financial specialist / homeownership counselor, credit specialist, tax specialist, real estate agent / realtor, and in parentheses, title company, because they usually come with the title company. Or if they don't, your real estate attorney will. So your real estate attorney, your lender / loan officer, and your homeowner's insurance.